the news. And what's up, you beautiful bastards? It is 8:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That means only one thing. That take night, late night with Take 3 is
Take the night.
What the actual hell? What the?
Well,
this week on the Reactor Summit. Shit, wrong.
He doesn't even know his own show, people. Good lord.
Malcolm, would you like to remind Brooklyn of the intro?
Rank 'em, watch along, rhyme or reason. Oh wait, we all know our shows. Can you get your shit together? Good lord.
Dude, come on, man.
And cut and start over again.
He hasn't laughed this hard since he was a little girl. What's wrong?
Oh,
all right.
We'll do it live.
It's a movie quote.
Okay,
All right,
Live.
All right. My name is Brooklyn Bill. Welcome to the Late Night with Take 3. Yeah,
Buffalo Bill?
Today. It is 8:54 p.m. Eastern Time. That means only one thing. Late Night with Take 3 is here. I will rub the lotion on my skin, or I'll get the host again. But I want to do the all Take 3 panel that we have. Starting off with some bastard, Cody Newberry. Cody, how you doing?
I'm a lot better than you right now. Good lord. This is going to be a long night for Brooklyn if you F up your own intro. But I'm really good. Tonight I'm going to go for my 5th defense of my belt. So it's going to be a hard fight battle because this is like, I think the group here knows a little bit more than me in this area, kind of like last week. So it should be fun as long as you make it through the whole show without dying.
Yeah. No, Jessica, I did not get drunk. That was last weekend. The other, my fellow Canadian, something, he has a bandana on. He's one of the coolest guys in the community. Sandy the Sandman Robinson. Sandy, how are you doing? Oh, I did meet you at Tim's, but you did not get me anything. How dare you?
No, I know. Sorry about that, buddy. You know, I'm off the sugar, right? So I can't go. I can't actually go in there. It was, I'm doing good. I'm pretty much the only person on this panel that isn't going to give you a hard time about flubbing that entrance. So, just happy to be here. Lots of news, lots of stuff to talk about. It's a great panel here. You know, us Canadians got to stick together because, there's people that are biased on this, this panel. So, no, doing good. Yeah, you can tell which one is biased.
Wouldn't be the one with the piece of shit on his head. Joining us today as well, he is the producer, the man behind the scenes. You can find him right here on Sundays with Rankum. You've seen an episode since last week. He also has, I guess, quite a temper, as you saw on Monday. Malcolm Goldie Lane. Malcolm, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Just chilled out. Got a lot of momentum for the debate and determined to finally take the belt off Cody.
Alrighty, best of luck. And last but definitely not least, the longest serving winner of Take 3, Vinny, Tommy Wiseau, Kermit, Matt Kearns. Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. At least when I host Rhyme and Reason, which airs every Saturday here on Take 3, no episode on Top 5 Sports Movies drops this Saturday. I always get my intro correct, so I'm doing a lot better than you, Cody. I'm sorry, Brooklyn.
Oh, I'm not sure if that's a compliment or an insult compared to Cody. I think it's an insult.
Okay, did you guys miss the... Oh, God damn it. Never mind.
I have a question.
The joke was that I messed up your name.
Does this mean for the second straight week I have to battle through the field and not get a bye to the end?
Yes, this means that you have to work for your title.
Oh.
You are not getting Brock Lesnar, and you're having 6 title defenses in 7 years. You are going to have to work for your title like everybody else has.
You need to be a Seth Rollins and be a fighting champion.
5 weeks.
From the folk on Rock. Come on, Rock.
All right, let's get into what game is. This game is called Shenanigans. For those of you who do not know, this is a game where we mention different movies and actors, and it bases it, and we go back and forth until there's one person remaining. So how we'll start is Matthew is going to tell Sandy either a movie, an actor, or an actress, and if he says an actor or an actress, Sandy has to name a movie that actor actress has appeared in, and then based off of that movie, it'll go. Malcolm has to name a movie that actor or actress was in, and go so on and so forth. But if you think that your opponent is full of shit, you can call shenanigans, where it goes back to them, and they have to name either an actor actress that the movie that they mentioned, or a movie that the actor actress that they said. So the order is going to be Malcolm, Sandy, or sorry, Kearns, Sandy, Malcolm, Brooklyn, and then Cody. So
okay, that was a lot of words. This is the first time I play this game, so I start off. I have to say an actor.
Have you not played this game yet?
No,
Really?
no, I have not.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you can pick either or. You can name an actor, an actress, or a movie.
Okay.
By the way,
Okay.
3 fans and everything, have you noticed that Brooklyn always likes to put me after him so he can try to stump me? Yeah. Go off yourself, Mighty Ducks.
Hey, The Mighty Ducks is a great movie.
He
Shut up
gave
over there.
he threw out Mighty Ducks at me, and I picked Joshua Jackson, and he said, name another movie with Joshua Jackson, and I said, D2, The Mighty Ducks. He didn't even counter. He didn't name one. So,
That's true.
Yep, thank you.
That's a number.
I beat Brooklyn twice last week.
Let's get at her.
I can't even think of another movie Joshua Jackson's been in. Poor guy. Except for D3, The Mighty Ducks. God damn. I can think of TV he's been in. Dawson's
Okay, I
Creek,
think you start the match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you start.
Okay. I'm going to go with the obvious, Kurt Russell.
Okay. So now goes Sandy.
Oh, it goes to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Kurt Russell. Let's go Escape from New York.
Ha! Best fucking luck, you guys.
Shenanigans.
Did you go? What does shenanigans mean?
I mean,
So that means it goes back to Sandy, and Sandy has to name an actor or an actress from Escape from New York.
Oh.
Oh, I know. Ernest Borgnine.
Who?
Ernest Borgnine. He played the cab driver.
Cabby was his name.
Matt, can we verify that he was in that movie?
Yes, we can. He played Cabby.
Okay. All right. So that means that Malcolm is eliminated, and Sandy will get to start fresh, and he is asking me.
Okay. Let's go with
I just put my phone away because I didn't want anyone thinking I was cheating.
That's fine.
Let's go with
This isn't for a belt, you're fine.
Oh, okay.
If you have to cheat to win this, go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's go with Trailer Park Boys the movie.
I can't. Jonathan Torrent. He plays the motherfucker. He says motherfucker so many times that they can't actually curse.
He plays J-Rock.
Yeah, J-Rock.
All right, so now what happens?
So now it goes to Cody. He has to name another movie starring Jonathan Torrent.
Jonathan Tort?
Jonathan
What
Torrent.
the hell is wrong?
Torrant.
Like, can we have some fun?
What the fuck, man?
I mean, you could call shenanigans.
I don't know if there was a sequel to it.
There's been 3 movies.
The movie Trailer Park Boys? Is that even a movie?
Yeah.
And this is a movie.
If I saw his face, I'd probably do it, but
Shenanigans.
it's okay. It's shenanigans, but you can go ahead and just pull it.
I believe Mike Smith was the name of the guy who plays Bubbles.
Yep.
All right. So Cody's out in this one, and then I am going to start fresh with Kearns. So Kearns, I'm going to give you a layup. I'll give you Armageddon.
Oh, nice.
Now it's whom do I choose? So many great actors to pick from in this movie. I'll go with Michael Clark Duncan.
Oh, an actor people knew. That's cool.
You know what?
I'm bitching at Sandy and freaking Brooklyn for the shittiest movie.
Oh, okay. I thought you were shit talking.
Sorry.
On
When you shit talk Canadians strike back.
Except for wars, they kind of tend to stay out of them.
All right, so we're at Malcolm now.
No, it's
No,
we're at we're at you.
Oh,
It's
so we're at our-
you turns left. Yeah, and then he said Michael, and then Matt said Michael Clark Duncan.
Daredevil.
Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Garner. Pearl Harbor. She played one of the nurses.
Oh, yeah.
Look it up. It goes to Sandy.
So it's my turn then, right? So we're at Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck.
Jersey Girl.
Will Smith.
Independence Day.
Jeff Goldblum.
The Fly.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell's her name?
Ooh.
Gina Davis.
A League of Their Own.
John Lovitz.
The Wedding Singer.
I was gonna say Rat Race. Adam Sandler.
50 First Dates.
Drew Barrymore.
E.T.
Peter Coyote.
Uh-oh. We lost Malcolm. I'm kind of concerned. We might lose our stream.
Ah, shit. Hey, at least it's not me and Sandy's fault this time.
Yeah.
No, it's not. All right.
What was this actor's name that you gave me again?
Jonathan Torrance. PEI native Jonathan Torrance.
The Trailer Park Boy movies are the only things he started on.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
So we're on. You said John Lovitz. Yeah.
Yeah, said John Lovitz. Yeah, no.
We're on. I said Peter Coyote.
Peter Coyote.
He played Keys.
Aaron Brockovich.
There's no Jonathan Torrance.
Julia Roberts.
Pretty Woman.
Jason Alexander.
Ooh, I have a good one for him.
What other movie was he in?
Oh my god. I know what movie he was in.
By the way, your name was not in this call. And not in this movie. I just looked it up. Jonathan Torrance is not the guy's name.
Ooh, shit.
Jonathan Torrance with an S?
No. There's no, not on, if it was the Trailer Park Boys, the movie, there's no
character named J-Rock? I have no idea for Jason Alexander. So it goes back to Matt then, or Matt will name that. Yeah,
North.
sorry, Matt.
North.
Is the character named Julian?
No,
There's character named
it's a different person.
entirely different person.
What are we? I said my answer.
You said North, and now we're on to Sandy.
Oh, sorry.
Hi, Malcolm.
North. Who's in North? Scarlett Johansson.
Home Alone 3.
Oh, that's a dick move.
Played
It's right into the Cody Dewberry.
Is it bad that the first movie that came to my head with Scarlett Johansson was Home Alone 3? I feel like that's probably bad.
Who does she play in this movie?
She plays the older sister.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to shenanigans.
Oh, so I have to name someone from Home Alone 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brooklyn, you were right.
All right. Just give me a second. Yeah. Go for my Rolodex of people who were in that movie.
Oh my god.
Fuck. I know an actor was in it. I just can't pull his name right now. All right, I give up.
All right, so Sandy wins. Sandy wins shenanigans.
Pat Haley and Neil Flynn would have been the closest, but that was a tough one.
Yep.
Let me see. The actor I was thinking of was Neil Flynn. It's like he was a cop in the movie. I just couldn't pull his name.
Neil Flynn would have been the closest, yeah.
That was a good game. I liked that game. That was a fun game.
I want to ensure that we have contact with Malcolm to make sure that our stream is alive and well. Malcolm, can we hear you? Can you hear us? Uh-oh.
Well, let me just see.
You just scared him away.
It said we are still live right now. I'm on YouTube right now. We are still live.
Right. Well, that's good. Until I see, because there's a little...
Home Alone 3 is the only Home Alone movie he's ever seen. What are you doing?
Wow. Ooh. I think the
guy
Home
in the
Alone
chat
films are overrated.
You can just doors right there. You can see yourself.
Okay, Malcolm, are we alive and well?
Malcolm, blink twice if you can hear us. Oh shit!
This is the first for Late Night with Take 3. We do apologize for the technical difficulties, but yeah.
Hey, listen,
Robert
as
Parker is still watching. He's completely wrong on his video game. Just to let you know.
He's probably still watching. Malcolm. All right, cool. So we're gonna keep going. Until I hear confirmable and or denial from Malcolm. We're gonna move into press conference. One of my favorite games to do. It was voted on by the panel. We have Malcolm.
There he is. Sort of.
What?
Malcolm.
Brooklyn, you see what happens when you make Malcolm do 15 things for a live show?
Malcolm was protesting because he didn't think Trailer Park Boys was a fair enough movie.
I don't know. There's three theatrically released Trailer Park Boys movies out there.
Just because
I can hear you.
Doesn't mean it's
You
good.
hear me?
I can't hear you, but you are getting to a pretty good Chance Ellison impression.
Don't be bitter, Cody.
So bitter.
Malcolm, you are touch choppy. Yeah, you're touch choppy on our end.
I think he's a robot.
He might be a robot.
He might be. I don't know. Are people in New Zealand actually robots?
Okay, so we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going, and we're trying to keep the show lively while we figure out what's going on with Malcolm. Hopefully, the stream stays alive and well. All right, so we're gonna move into press conference and voted on by the council. I was the next person to be the Colin mockery of press conference. So. I guess these guys determined the character that I was going to be. Are you guys 100% that you guys have the character that I'm going to be?
Yes, sir.
All right. Dear Lord,
if they would have a problem, they didn't tell me.
No, it's good. We can make it happen.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you everybody coming to this press conference. I know this is sort of an impromptu thing, but I will be answering any and all questions from the press. So, you, sir, with the Red Sox house.
Schmodown Times here. Why do you hate the effing fans? I just want to know. Why do you hate us?
because they skip leg day. I mean, it's an essential thing. We have to do leg day. We have to do squats. We have to do our calf lunges. We have to do our squat jumps. These are important things. Legs carry us. Next question, please. Yes, you there, sir.
Hi, hot takes for the sake of being different.com here. I just have a question. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
I am I am the Black Lantern Broken Veil. I am a member of Take 3. I have two shows.
Follow-up question to that. Where do you get off thinking you can do this to us? I'm just wondering.
I mean, I asked and I said please. So this kind of just happened on its own. You there in the red shirt?
Yeah, this is Sandy, the slime ball from slimeballnews.com. Have you read any of the source material before you entered into into this production value?
I skimmed through the first couple books and then I was like, the pictures look pretty. So I was like, yeah, all right. We're gonna dive into this. We'll see what happens. You there, sir?
Yeah. Question. Did you watch the movie that came before you guys started launching this next project? I'm just curious.
We did. We actually ran it through extensively. We went by scene. We wanted to make sure that there was an exact script. We actually wanted to make sure that we got the water bottle throw precise. So that was one thing that was for sure. Matt.
Okay, so you say you wanted a precise script. So I'm just wondering, is there any particular reason why you allowed the director of the follow-up film to only get the last page of the previous film and then just write a script based entirely off of that? Also, who do you think you are and what gives you the right?
Can you run that question one more time? My husband hears
Yeah. I'm just wondering, why exactly, if you're telling us that you wanted an exact script, why did you only give the director of the follow-up film only the last page, it seems, to the previous film and then just let him or her go off and do their own thing? Do you want any connectivity at all?
I'm back.
Hey, Malcolm is back. But yeah, we had to go with some creative things. I didn't want a visually shot for shot piece, but sometimes the script has to change. If we're doing this word for word, just go watch the other movie. You there, sir, Mr. Newberry?
Do you often milk animals by the beach and think it's appropriate to show it in screen?
I have to make a living somehow, don't I? As a beach farmer, it's tough times right now. See the harvest season's coming up, and I got to put milk on the table somehow. Sandy.
So now that you're literally, probably within the same building, have you had any conversations with somebody who's actually been doing it right for the last 10 years, i.e., Kevin Feige of Marvel fame?
I have not. I've been very impressed with how Kevin Feige has been doing this on their own. But I wanted to take this in my own direction. I don't want to copy anybody. This is my own thing. Whatever franchise or remake that I'm doing, I want to give it my own footprint. Last question from Mr. Curtis.
This is a real simple question to end on here. What did Mark Hamill ever do to you? Just a simple question.
Mark Hamill projected himself the wrong way. He wasn't meant to be a Force ghost in The Last Jedi. That was a cop-out way to kill him off in The Last Jedi. So, you know what? Mark Hamill was better known for the Joker, not for Luke Skywalker.
All right, now you're just talking crazy.
So I had a couple of ideas. At first, I thought I was remaking The Room. Then I thought I was remaking Freddy Got Fingered. But now It seems like I am remaking the Star Wars series, or I burned the Star Wars. I burned the original Star Wars script.
So this is the idea that I sent everyone. You are the head of story at Lucasfilm.
Sure.
Or lack thereof.
You some bitch.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was my bit not good enough for your show, Brooklyn? Because Cool Guy says Currents is the highlight of the show. So, you.
Cool guy needs to
He's like, what the hell?
Cool guy needs to reevaluate his life.
You know what? There's one person who likes me, been working here the longest. He's the first person who's ever said I'm the highlight of everything. Even when I did the movie fan show Second Look, they would say other people are the highlights of my programs.
Oh, the beach! Oh man, the beach goats. It makes sense. The beach cows. It makes sense.
I'm gonna join the cool guy and say you're damn right. Kearns is the best part of this show. So,
and if you like Kearns,
thankfully,
they talk
before it gets flagged again.
Hey, we do not. Cody, I will promise you on this episode, which is on Top 5 Sports Movies, which drops this Saturday on Take 3, we do not talk about Star Wars whatsoever.
Okay, I said nonsense, really? But it's not a big deal.
I mean, Star Wars nonsense, pretty well the same thing. All right, guys. Let's now that we have Malcolm alive and well, let's get right into the news. And I've heard through the grapevine that there's actually quite a packed house at Matt's place. So, Matt, can you call your buddies over to read us the news?
I guess so. Just 1 second to see them. All right, guys, it's time to do that thing that I gave you $5 to do. All right. You can split it amongst 3 of you, I believe. And I believe if anyone could split $5 amongst 3 people evenly, it's you wackos, all right? Hi, everyone. It's me, your favorite director, Tommy. Hi, everybody. Anyway, Brooklyn, how's your non-existent sex life?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Oh, so everyone, is me, director Best Frenemies, now available on iTunes and YouTube. When I got hacked, I didn't upload the room. It's bullshit. I did not. I was hacked. But now we on to the news. It's gonna be lovely. I'm here with my friend Kermit and with Vinny. We had so much fun in the closet, but I'm not coming out, am I? I don't tell. It's okay.
What?
So the first story we have is trailers for Bumblebee. And Fantastic Beasts 2. I'm more a fan of Fantastic Beasts, but it's not on a movie site you can find. Also, Creed 2, the trailer came out, and it was nice. It was not... No. If anyone's talking about Creed, it's me. Vinny, why are you so angry? No, guys, you listen here. Okay, so Creed 2, this trailer dropped, and it was freaking amazing. Okay, Creed 2 is going to be the greatest movie of this century, all right? I said it, century, okay? You know what century is? It's 10 years, okay? Those 4 years of high school really paid off. You're so nice, Nini. We also have Dark Phoenix. That's what I call Lisa. Hey guys, it's Kermit the Frog here. I'm going to be serious for at least once on this show. Gary Kurtz passed away. He was a brilliant producer. He did Dark Crystal with Jim Henson, so you know he was a smart guy. So yay! But now on to some bullshit. Birds of Prey, as I like to call it. Gonzo and his horror of the week. Oh god, I'm just reusing jokes now. It's okay, Kermit. I take over from here. Hi everyone, it's Tommy Wiseau again. So Birds of Prey, they cast Huntress and Black Canary with actresses and everything, but Lisa wasn't one of them. I think Greg is in this movie though. I think he is. And finally, Mel Gibson, he's directed a remake of The Wild Bunch, but I think we all know who should. It's Tommy Wiseau. Okay, everybody, so that's it for the news. I see you all later. Bye-bye.
This just in. Tommy Wiseau is confirmed to be a Puerto Rican drag queen.
Wow. It was either bridge, or like he bounced back?
I wasn't sure. Yeah, he was like, he was some sort of flamboyancy.
Tommy
I wasn't sure if it was.
card ripped from Live with Day 3.
Hey, you know what, guys? He's been drinking a couple Millers, so just.
I can imagine.
I actually think he sounded
couple?
pretty good. Just saying.
The best thing was, I mean, if you watch Collider Live, that's literally Tommy Wiseau was crazy on there. It's my favorite thing.
Oh, it was amazing. It was fantastic.
So
And,
I think
Jess said in the chat, did Kermit just cheer for someone's death?
No,
this is Kermit that we're talking about.
No, okay. As someone
He was
who
drinking
doesn't
the
know
Coors
Kermit
too.
quite personally, but his roommate parties with all the time, he was not cheering for the death of Gary Kurtz. He was cheering for the career of Gary Kurtz.
Oh. I just heard, yeah, and I was like, what? What are we doing here?
Whoa.
It's not because
All
that's
right.
the only way a certain person can keep that impression going is by doing that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
one of my favorites, or the big thing that I want to talk about, and I know it's something that's kind of come up within the last couple of days, but the trailer for Dark Phoenix, I was not expecting this trailer at all, and I think this trailer is kind of meh, because like I kind of thought the X-Men franchise was dead, other than Deadpool. I figured they were going to wait until the Disney Fox merger, but it was like, I don't know. I'm not super excited like I should be. What's everybody else? What did everyone else think of the Dark Phoenix trailer?
I thought it was pretty good, but it was a trailer. It's like I said on Twitter. I said I thought the trailer was good. Doesn't mean I'm thinking the movie's going to be good. I've gone to a point now where I only look at trailers for what they're supposed to be, which is hyping me up for a movie, not like I used to where I'm like, oh, the trailer's great. That means the movie's great. So it looks, personally, as a comic book fan, I like the references to the suits they're wearing. Look just like the suits they wore when the comics first started. J-Law, please give a shit this time if you came back.
I don't even care. I don't even care if she doesn't give a shit. I just don't want her to be a main focal point. And that's my problem with it.
Please. Which it doesn't look like she's going to be.
No offense, I just don't believe that they can do any worse on the Phoenix saga that they did in Last Stand. I actually am a big fan of Sophie Turner. I think Sophie Turner is a perfect cast for this. As a huge X-Men fan as myself, I'm at the point with trailers and especially comic books. It's nothing against anything. I mean, if you think about since 2008, gotten so many comic books movies, so the trailers are kind of the same almost. Shot like they set up the baddie. There's an action filled. It's just I like the concept of like. Okay, getting started when the trailers came out and stuff, there was hints at it, but it wasn't as obvious as this of what's happening. You know, it was kind of like the cure of mutants, and then Dark Phoenix thrown in there. This one is like, listen, we're doing Dark Phoenix, and I'm hoping they do good. They don't have Oscar Isaac in a giant blue suit, but it's the same thing with the Captain Marvel trailer for me. I thought the Captain Marvel trailer was good. I enjoyed it. I thought it set up, but again, it's just 2 minutes. I need what they showed me, the suits of being an X-Men fan. Did I groan when I saw Jennifer Lawrence on the plane? Mystique again? Yeah. But at this point, you know, as long as she's not the main thing, I think the arc between Sophie Turner and Professor Xavier. I think it's going to be killer in this movie because he is one of the best actors working today, and I think Sophie Turner has a fantastic and those battle within because he's the reason for it. That's what they're hinting at or whatever. Like it's so cool. I think I'm excited because I don't think it was dead. I just thought there was a misstep because First Class and Days of Future Past are among the top X-Men movies. Apocalypse was just. They missed their mark, and that happens every now and then. And they knew they missed their mark if you watch the movie because they literally said, "Oh, the third one's always the worst." Like they knew it. I think everybody knew it above. Of the images of being an X-Men fan of the stuff going on, I'm very positive with. I think this movie is actually going to be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Cody.
Mass. What is the movie news that stood out for you this week?
I mean, I know Brooklyn just went through it, but Gary Kurtz passing away. That, as a kid who spent one summer, no joke, watching just two documentaries, the beginning, The Making of Phantom Menace, and Empire of Dreams, The Making the Star Wars trilogy, I saw and heard Gary Kurtz tell the stories and making the Star Wars movies so many times, and he's a guy who a lot of people don't know, and he is so important to Star Wars. He was not just a producer. Like, he wasn't a dude just signed checks and patted Lucas on the head and said, "You're making a good movie." Like, he was involved with the script, and he was involved with the casting. He was involved with so many of the things that made. He was like the second unit director when they got to the point where they had a week to finish the movie. Like, he just was so involved in the first two Star Wars movies, and then because of falling out with Lucas, he kind of pulled back on Jedi. But it's sad that he's passed away. I have nothing but the utmost respect for the other projects he worked on, like Dark Crystal and American Graffiti. He also just seemed like a guy in Hollywood who, even when he had opportunities to bash George Lucas, never took them, even though he easily could have. He could have been like, Lucas was always a power man, but he never said anything bad about the guy. He was always a very stand-up man. So yeah, it's a sad day.
Yeah, for sure. I don't I can't elaborate because I'm not the biggest not the biggest fan of Star Wars. But I imagine that if you're creating like one of the biggest franchises in human history, you have to have a pretty intelligent mind. Sandy, what is the big news in this interview this week?
Well, I'll just touch real quickly. Gary Kurtz was an absolute genius when it came to what he was doing. He's going to be missed sorrowfully. So rest in peace, please. But the Dark Phoenix trailer looked good, but like what Cody said, it's just a trailer at this point. There was nothing spectacular about it. I'm happy that my boy Ty Sheridan's coming back as Cyclops. I think that's I think he's being underrated because he off the success of Ready Player One, he's going to have a bigger media role. So I think, and because it's Jean Grey that's being affected the most, and their love interests, we're going to see more from that. So I'm hoping that that's the case. I really want to talk about the Bumblebee trailer. I was really on the fence with the teaser that came out. I was like, okay, like an '80s Transformers movie. That's all right. They made him more of the Bumblebee, in the little Volkswagen. That's fine. This trailer really elevated it for me. I was really happy with this trailer. I loved the throwback stuff. All I wanted, listen, I'm a fan of the Transformers movies. You guys can come at me all you want. I don't give a crap. I like the Transformers movies. I didn't like The Last Night. Trust me, I've fallen asleep. I fell asleep twice in it. Not really happy with it. But the one thing that I was always missing from all of the Transformers movies was the original designs. I grew up with the Transformers. I grew up with the toys, the cartoons, the movie, everything. And as much as the new designs were really, interesting and kind of cool from a engineering standpoint, I wanted to see Soundwave with the big gun and the cassette player and press the button and Ravage, Ratbat, come out of his chest. I wanted to see Optimus Prime with the square, the square body. And we got those in this trailer. And we get to see the versions from the cartoon of these Transformers that we never got to see before. But they still kept it a little bit, within this world that we live in. So whether or not it's a reboot, like a complete reboot, or if it's just a prequel, I don't know. I don't care at this point. I just want it to be good. And the trailer gives me a little bit of hope for it being better than The Last Night. That's all I can say. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I think I'm also looking to, we didn't mention this on the news, but I think Venom opens up in a couple of weeks, and I'm looking forward to that. I could care less what people think about the special effects. Like I said, I don't give a crap as long as the movie is good and as long as it is enjoyable and I have a good time watching it. I don't care, because 25 years ago we got nothing. We got no special effects. We got nothing. No superhero movies, nothing. And if you're going to complain now about special effects, then you're missing the point.
I feel like that's aimed at a certain Schmodown competitor, but the jury is still out. No?
Not at all.
Okay.
I said my piece on that post on Facebook, and this isn't me taking another shot. It's just I want people to remember that 20 years ago, we didn't have this. Like, we didn't have this.
I don't know what we're talking about, but I'll ask.
It's nothing.
Yeah, it's out there now. Somebody made a post about like how bad the special effects were with the Venom symbiote in the Venom movie and the trailers and stuff like that. And my response was, go back 20 years. Did we even have a hope that there was going to be a Venom movie ever? No, not at all. And so I think that we can become a little bit complacent in the world that we are now, that we can make superhero movies every single 2 or 3 of them every single year, when 20 years ago we didn't have any. And the ones we did have were bad.
Well, 20 years ago we had Superman the movie.
Well,
Malcolm, while your street news is alive and well, what are your thoughts on the movie news?
Yeah, I mean, we do have some late breaking news as well.
God, do I need to get Tommy?
I found. But yeah, like Bruce Dern was replacing Burt Reynolds in the Quentin Tarantino movie, and there's a new Robin Hood trailer that dropped as well. But for me, the one that did excite me was the trailers. The trailers I thought were great. I mean, I did enjoy Dark Phoenix and all that, but I mean, for me, the trailer highlight of the week is the Fantastic Beast one. The reveal of Nagini in the trailer was a really shock. I mean, I would have preferred they didn't put that in the trailer, but they did, so I can't complain. But I mean, it's definitely something that I didn't expect.
Yeah, I would have brought up Fantastic Beasts, but I knew Malcolm was going to, and I mean, I'll just touch on it real quick. I thought it was amazing, but they already had my money. I was going from the teaser, so they didn't have to give me any more information. I kind of agree with Malcolm, showing us Nagini, as much as it's connective and it helps connect the universes even more. They did not need to show us. It would have been such an awesome thing to hear it and then see it at the theater and do it. So I think they dropped the ball with that little nugget. But yeah, absolutely, Malcolm. It was a great trailer.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the Creed 2 trailer real fast?
Yes, the Creed 2 trailer.
Okay, okay.
Sorry. I have to keep my champion appeased.
This is 2 weeks in a row. This is 2 episodes.
Wait, but I thought Cody. Wait, I thought Cody went first.
Dark Phoenix.
I'm sorry, Cody. I thought you brought up Dark Phoenix. I apologize. I thought you were the one who brought up Dark Phoenix.
This is a trend, not a mistake.
Hey, I wasn't on last week, so.
Petition is going out tonight. Brooklyn can't do the opening and skips the champion 2 weeks in a row. If I have the chance, I'm bringing up Creed 2. By far, I'm confused. I'm okay with it, but 3 trailers were brought up before Creed 2. Creed 2 is exactly what Matt said before. It's the movie we didn't. I remember when they released what the storyline was going to be, and everybody's like, I don't want Drago's son. I don't want that. I want something different. I want something original. And then this trailer hit, and everybody's like, oh my gosh. If you're a Rocky fan, or if you're not a Rocky fan, that's your call. But if you're a Rocky fan, everybody battles what the best Rocky movie is. Best Rocky movie, it's hard to explain. The most fun Rocky movie, and it's 4. 4's hands down the funnest Rocky movie out there. I have the most fun with it. It's the most quotable Rocky movie of them all. And when I saw this brick of wall walking towards the ring and stands across from Adonis and is going to swing at Adonis Creed, I never knew I needed this movie, just like what Kern said. I want this movie tomorrow. Creed 1 was amazing. If you haven't seen it, it's one of the best Rocky movies out there. It's set up a perfect storyline. Stallone is at the best he's ever been as Rocky in Creed, I believe. And that's saying something because I think Rocky 1 is a masterpiece. But to see him and then back and forth and this trailer, when you see Michael B. Jordan is just proving to everybody in Hollywood that this man deserves as much work as you can give him because he is incredible. When he is hanging on that bar and they hit him with the medicine ball, and like when his mom looks at him and goes, "Do not say this is about your dad." Like, I was just like, I'm sold. It was like when he said about Fantastic Beasts, you already had my money. This movie already had my money, but now I'm watching it back to back on opening night because this movie is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
have a. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Do you want to go?
No. I was gonna say I have a confession to make. I've only seen Rocky 4.
That's okay. See the
out.
other Rocky movies. I mean, get the fuck out. But...
That's one more than I have.
All right.
Whoa. All right.
You know what? I'm taking over here because I'm going to talk about how this is the sequel to Rocky 4. I never knew I wanted, and God, I'm so happy. I'm sorry. This right here.
I know.
Come on. Okay. You know what else? The line when Rocky says to Adonis, "He broke things in me that have never healed." I went, thank you. Because here's the thing, and this is the thing I love about Rocky, the series, is that character can be talking about two things. One, he could be literally talking about the fact that in the fight, Drago broke things in him. He can also be talking about the fact that this dude broke my heart when he killed my best friend in the ring, who's your father. And that never healed because he was dead.
Or not just that. His career. Rocky came back in Rocky 5, and I know we want to forget about Rocky 5, but Rocky came back and had to retire because of the brain damage suffered at the hands of Drago. So,
I mean, can we just say Rocky 4 is when literal Stallone got in the ring and told him to hit him as hard as he could and literally knocked him out, and he had to spend time in hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Literally about killed Sylvester Stallone.
To say Stallone didn't take the Rocky series seriously, you're off your rocker. But this movie just it's not making a joke out of it. It's not making, Drago Jr. It's a joke. I mean, when he says he was born in hate, and you just see him do with the ropes, he does the push up but again, that moment of Drago and Rocky, it's the same thing in the fight with Apollo where it's happening again, and I need this movie tonight.
Is it me, or is Drago's son bigger than Drago was in Rocky 4? Like, this guy is absolutely massive. Like, he's a beast of a human. Like absolutely. Like, I don't want to meet him in a back alley, and I'm a pretty big dude.
Exactly.
This movie also made me want to pump at the gym today a lot harder, and then I heard.
But that's exactly what you were saying. That's why it's so similar to Rocky 4 in feel, because I don't care who you are. I don't care how little exercise you've done. When you hear that John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band song come on during the training montage in the shack in the middle of the ice field, the next thing you want to do is go,
I mean, I have the Rocky 4 soundtrack on my phone right now, and I listen to it on the train pretty much every day because it's awesome.
Now, nobody try to prove that you have it on your phone. We don't want another strike.
I mean, you don't need to play the music.
Mr. Kearns, have we already learned our lesson?
I mean, I don't need to. I mean, it's no music being played. There's the Rocky 4 soundtrack on my phone. Also, in my dad's bar, they have a jukebox, and they have the Rocky 4 soundtrack on there. I've played so many songs. I've played War from the Rocky IV soundtrack, which has no music, and everyone in the bar is like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Rocky IV is what it is." And then I leave.
Alrighty. With that, before I blow my nose off, let's get into let's get into like the theme, the whole thumbnail of the thing, the best hero video games with the release of Spider-Man on the PS4, which from what I hear is phenomenal. I don't own a PS4, but I mean. Cody, can you and your sock puppet give us a review of Marvel Spider-Man?
Hey, Brooklyn wants you to talk about Spider-Man. Oh, no problem at all. First good thing you said all night, right? I agree. Okay, so anyways, Spider-Man flippin' is my favorite Marvel character of all time. He's probably like my top 3 superhero. He's probably top 2. Even if people don't like the movies, well, guess what? There's the door. You and Brooklyn can leave together. But this game, if you haven't played it, it's crazy. It did everything that I want the movies to do. The web slinging is so natural in it. It feels like you can quick speed around the map if you'd let me swing everywhere I go because I'm mother effing Spider-Man. They have so many villains in it, and so many things that tie into the next game. It's just the perfect storyline. Hints at like Rhino, Scorpion, Vulture, Electro, Black Cat. They're all in this. They have an arcing storyline that you think you're done, and then it picks straight back up with the Raft. It ties in with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Avengers Tower is flipping in it. Doctor Strange's Sanctum is there. Like it's just a fantastic game, and the different suits you can use and the combat. It is the best superhero video game I have ever played, hands down.
It sounds a lot like the Batman Arkham trilogy. One of my favorite games. I think Arkham City is phenomenal. What that did, like for me, the Arkham trilogy made Scarecrow my favorite Batman villain ever. Like more so than Joker. I was talking to Matt about this on the live stream, www.twitch.tv/videos, where you can find me streaming Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. But like the story and the collectibles and the different characters, it makes more of the B villains feel so badass. Like you think about like Hugo Strange and the guy that starts with the Z, I forget his name, and Black Mask and Killer Croc. Killer Croc seems deadly as fuck. But Malcolm.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like the Arkham games are definitely one of my favorite ones to play. Is like I even enjoyed Arkham Origins and Arkham Knight. I mean, I just enjoyed all of them. But for me, the Lego's been doing these superhero games really well. I mean, like you've got Marvel Superheroes 1 and 2, and all the Batman ones. I mean, and also DC Supervillains coming out in a few weeks. So I mean, there's so much there. And the other one I'm going to bring up is a really old one, but Marvel Avengers Alliance, the Ultimate Marvel Alliance, the big crossover one they did 2 of way back in the day, but Marvel Ultimate Alliance, that's it. It's just so good. You've got a lot of characters in there that you can get from, just all the villains that pop up and the storylines that they bring in.
Yeah. Sandy, what are your favorite superhero video games growing up?
All right. Well, when I was growing up, there were no superhero video games. No, I'm just kidding.
Superman on Atari.
There was, yeah.
There was Spider-Man.
Yeah, not too much. I'm probably the last person to ask on this one. I'm not a big video game player. I like playing video games, against other people. Like whenever us get together and play. something that everybody kicks my ass at. I'm okay with it. It's all right because it's just good fun. That I like co-op video games. I love going into my video game or like my video store or my video game, arcade and jumping on when there was an extra player in X-Men or Ninja Turtles or whatever, when you could play those co-op games. And then of course when the consoles started coming out, you just played that. But I watched all the trailers for the new Spider-Man video game that came out. I think it looks amazing because it's open world, right? And anytime you can open world a game, that's a huge plus. The first game that I ever played that was open world that needed very much load time was Final Fantasy VII for the original PlayStation, and it's amazing. Gods of War is another one that is open world too. So it's great. I love it when they can put together a video game that reaches so many people, and definitely Spider-Man is one of those characters. Like Cody said, he's one of everybody's favorite superheroes, for the most part. So what better way to launch a video game franchise than with him? So I think it's going to be great.
I'm glad that you mentioned the X games, because I was a fan of those side-scrolling beat-em-ups. Like you have like the X-Men, the Simpsons also had a great side-scrolling beat-em-up. But now, before I pick up even more, Cody, other than Spider-Man, what are some of your favorite superhero video games and whatnot?
So I was really big on. I'm with you. I think Arkham City and Arkham Asylum were two like fantastic games. Arkham Origins fell off a little bit, and Arkham Knight was good if you didn't have to be in a tank half the game, which I didn't like to not be Batman. I really enjoyed the original Spider-Man games. Really, I think those were also great superhero movies. But yeah, the two that really stand out to me right now are the Arkham games and Spider-Man, because they actually make you feel like you are the character, and the storylines that tie in are so like almost movie quality that you transition. It's crazy out there, those two games, and I think they borrowed a lot from Arkham to bring into Spider-Man, especially with the combat and stuff, made it so fluid and so easy. So yeah, I would say those two are probably my top two that I would go back and play right now.
I will just add on just real quickly that the Injustice video games, even though I've never played them, have some of the best people out there that cut all the cutscenes together and make a movie out of all the cutscenes and stuff. And I've watched all of those, and they're freaking fantastic.
I've done that for it. I played Injustice, but I never played. I played Injustice. I never played Injustice 2, but I did more Injustice 2 in the story mode. Holy shit! Some really good stories, and I really hope they do with. Macarons, I know that it's a game you're going to talk about that doesn't get a lot of praise from the SNES or the NES or SNES. I'm not sure, but go talk about Batman.
Both. First off, as maybe the only person on this panel has played Injustice, my God, is it so much fun! But the story of that game is so good. NetherRealms, they pretty much did for Mortal Kombat with DC, which I was so happy about. So the first one is Batman, based on the 1989 movie on NES. One of my favorite NES games. The music, it diverges from the film in a lot of places, but it still is so much fun. It is literally in my retro duo right now. I was playing it the other day. So it's a really fun game to just pick up and play for a little bit. And the other one is Batman Returns on SNES, one of the best beat-em-ups on the SNES. It's just you just get such a satisfaction from beating people up and just throwing them into walls. And but as a kid, I had a PS2, and one of the first games that I owned that wasn't like the family's games was Spider-Man 2. And that game was so much. As a kid who was a fan of Spider-Man, you just get to swing around like it was the first open world Spider-Man game, and you could spend so much time just not even doing the story mode of that game. It just fly around and just help people, and it was a ton of fun. Nowadays, beyond those games, the superhero games that I really like to play are stuff like Injustice. I really enjoy, and Arkham City is one of the few video games that I've actually beaten. I play that game strictly in the Batman Beyond suit because I think the design in that game is so freaking cool. But for the longest time, I didn't think I was going to beat it because Mr. Freeze just continually kicked my ass, which if you played that game, you know the frustration that comes from that Mr. Freeze fight. But I am, as a Superman fan, I'm holding out for I have yet Death of Superman and Return of Superman is okay. I'm holding out for that great Superman game that I've not quite gotten yet.
There was
about that
talks...
Superman 64.
There's talks. I remember there being talks from Ubisoft Montreal of giving Superman the Arkham treatment. I know that there was some concept design going on, but things sort of fell flat. But I'm glad, that the Injustice games got mentioned as well. So let's get right into the debates. Cody, like he said before, he is like the millionth time defending champion. Who cares?
Four time.
You have a frog stuck in your throat there, Cody? Or?
Four time. Bonsai's ready.
Bonsai's ready. I got you for 3 minutes. Which, by the way, I'm not the only one who thinks that scene is really problematic. Now when it goes, nice costume, did your boyfriend make it for you? What if he was like, yes, he did, actually. It was a very nice gift, you asshole, you homophobic dick.
All right, let's get right into it. Cody, since you are the champion, you're going to pick first between 1 and 4. This is more so the pairing, so that we can figure out who is going up against who in the first round. So Cody, pick between 1 and 4.
I'm number 1, and the Red Sox are number 1, so I'll pick 1.
How dare you speak blasphemy of the Red Sox? Sandy, pick 2, 3, or 4.
I will pick 4.
All right, Malcolm.
3.
All right, so that puts Kearns with 2. So that means that Kearns. That means you have a rhyme and reason Civil War, and then we have Cody versus Malcolm. So since Cody is the champion, his match will be second, which means that we're going to get Kearns and Sandy first. So Kearns,
to judge it though.
You get to judge us.
Mm.
But again, we've done this before, based on the arguments provided.
Sure, I know.
Yeah. All right. So, Kearns, since you have been a bridesmaid but never a bride, you are the higher ranked competitor. Please pick question 1, 2, 3, or 4.
I was a past
3.
champion.
Sandy was a champion.
Oh wait, Sandy was a champion. Sorry. Matt is the higher ranking. Sandy, as the former champion, 1, 2, 3, or 4.
I will pick 3.
You'll pick 3. Okay. All right, guys. So once again, first person to speak will go first. There is a 20-second opening followed by a 15-second rebuttal. In this instance, Malcolm and Cody will be the judges. It'll be the points will be given based on the arguments provided. So you picked question number 3, Sandy. Your question is as follows: other than the Joker, who is the best villain in the Batman Arkham trilogy?
Mr. Freeze.
Okay.
I'll say Scarecrow.
All right. Tugging on my heartstrings with Scarecrow. Alrighty. Kearns, you said Mr. Freeze first. You have 20 seconds for an opening. Time begins whenever you start talking.
Mr. Freeze in the Arkham games kind of took what they had set up in the animated series and kind of just expanded it. He is a very interesting character. He's not quite villainous at first. He's actually helping Batman. It's only until Batman wants to stop him from his ultimate goal of helping his wife, which is actually kind of honorable that it gets in his way. You understand where he's coming from. And you feel bad that you have to fight him. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were giving me the last name.
All right, Sandy, you are next. Since Cody, or since sorry, I'm used to Cody breaking the rules. Because Kearns broke the time limit, you'll get 22 seconds. Time begins the next time.
All right, the Scarecrow in the video games isn't Batman's buddy. He's not there to chum up the Batman. He's the villain. He's the bad guy. He's one of the rogues gallery. He's not trying to be a buddy. He's not trying to be a friend. He's trying to be a bad guy, and he's very menacing in these videos. He is he's killing people. He's hurting people. He's wrecking things. He's busting stuff up, and Mr. Freeze is just Batman's pal for most of the video game.
All right, interesting opening by Sandy. Mr. Kearns, you have a 15-second rebuttal. Time begins whenever you start talking.
Or is he Batman's buddy? What's actually great is what you find out is he's actually not the whole time. He's just been out it for his own needs. Scarecrow is just being Scarecrow. It's just being a classic Batman villain. Isn't it more interesting to watch a villain that you think is your ally only for it to turn out that he is actually your enemy? There, I ended.
Patented Chris Clark. We'll see if
there
that
you
pays
go.
off.
I ended early that time to help you.
Sandy, 15-second rebuttal. Time begins and never start talking.
Yeah, 100% that you want the villain to be the bad guy. You want to know that he's the bad guy. You don't want somebody to pretend he's your buddy because guess what? Batman's too smart. He knows that he wasn't a teammate of his. He knew he was always going to cut his throat. So why not just be upfront about it and try to destroy Batman like you're supposed to?
Time. All right. This is actually really interesting.
One more time. If I could only go one more time.
Some great arguments put together by both competitors. Malcolm, I'm going to go to you first, based on the arguments provided. Who gets your point?
Yeah, I found this one really hard because they're both really close. I think Sandy managed to. In his rebuttal, managed to just sneak it away a little bit because, he brought up about the fact that Batman is probably really smart and would probably know that Mr. Freeze is playing him for a fool.
But he didn't. Sorry, frog.
Yeah, it's one of those ones it may have seemed like that in the game, but I mean it's. But yeah, I mean, in his head, he's probably thought there might have been something that would have happened. But yeah, I mean, but yeah. So my point goes to Sandy.
All right. I am going to go against my Canadian and give it to Kearns.
Of course you are.
Because Kearns had the better argument. Sandy gave a great fight for not playing the games. But I think for me it was kind of surprising. Kearns actually wanted his opening. I thought the rebuttals were pretty well split. But I heard more about how Mr. Freeze was made interesting in the series. Yes, Scarecrow was scary, and that's why I love him so much. But it's surprising because Matt actually wanted this for me in his opening. So Matt gets my point. Cody, it comes down to you. Based on the arguments provided, not who you want to play next. Who is getting your point?
Yeah, I don't care who I play next. My thing is, I think both missed key points. Because if Kearns would have used what he talked about in the video game, saying that level is so hard, so it made you hate that villain even more, that would have been really good. And Sandy didn't play. I know, and Sandy didn't pick the character like the horrible thing about Scarecrow with the poisoning and how trippy those parts were when you had to battle Scarecrow. But on the argument, I think Kearns gave Sandy all his ammo to fire back at him, pretty much, by saying he's not a good guy and he was able to think. So that's why I have to give it to Sandy.
All right. Well,
this is bullshit. I hate this game.
If Tommy would have battled, I would have given Tommy a...
He didn't even play the game.
That doesn't matter sometimes.
I'm kidding.
But he was in the room.
You know what the thing was? this is one of those arguments where right after it ended, so many things, like you said, Cody, came to mind where I was like, I should have talked about the fight. I should have
If the fight, if you go off difficulty of that fight in that game, he is the best villain.
You
because
hate
he is
him.
The biggest
jackass. Goddamn. Well, good work, Sandy. Oh God,
Right,
I hate losing. I just
Sandy moves on to the final. So now we go up to Cody versus Malcolm. Cody, since you are the champion somehow, pick question 1, 2, or 4.
I'll go 4.
Okay. Okay, this is actually an interesting one. So once again, guys, if you speak first, you go first. What character other than Spider-Man from the Marvel Universe deserves the Arkham treatment?
I couldn't get this question.
Oh, what the hell?
Wolverine.
All right, we're Wolverine.
Come on, Malcolm. Come on.
No, the right answer.
I'm gonna go Iron Man.
All right, so Wolverine versus Iron Man. I think it's actually really good. Cody, you are first. You have 20 seconds. Time begins whenever you start talking. Again, the question is, what character other than Spider-Man from Marvel deserves the Arkham treatment?
Okay, the great things that made the Arkham games work was all the darkness and all the torment of Batman and all his villains coming against him. Iron Man would just have, he doesn't have key villains to bring back in the game to have those iconic moments of the square downs. Wolverine would have Magneto and Mystique, and just have classic Storm. Even when Storm was a part of the Apocalypse, you'd have so many different torments through it. And
time.
I'll let you stop. Yeah.
Okay. A great competitor, allowing time to have stopped, not rambling on. Cough, Kurtz, cough, cough. Malcolm, you have 20 seconds.
I don't see you fighting.
He lost last week. That's why he can't. Go ahead.
Oh.
Malcolm, you got 20 seconds. Time begins whenever you start talking.
I mean, Wolverine is great, but I mean, I think Iron Man deserves a good game. I mean, Wolverine has had many games on his own before. I mean, they may not be in the Arkham style, but he's had his own games. Iron Man has had a couple of really lackluster games.
All right, interesting. Both taking Chris Clark methods. We'll see if these pay off. We now go into 50-second rebuttals. Cody, your first time begins whenever you start talking.
And if you want to say somebody's already had games, I'm going to go with Iron Man because Batman. He's the MCU version of Batman. Batman already had his game. Wolverine can go through a rampage and tear people apart and deal with the torment of what happened on the island and try to do those battles and have those flashbacks and battle through his way back to get some clarity of who he is.
All right, Malcolm, you have 15 seconds. Time begins whenever you start talking.
Even though Iron Man is similar to Batman, I mean, it doesn't mean that he will be a worse-off game. I mean, other than field mode and tracking abilities for Wolverine, he doesn't really have a lot of other abilities you can exploit. With Iron Man, you do a lot with his suits. He has different suits with different reasons. All
right. Time is up. I'm going to go first to get mine out of the way. Malcolm stole it in a rebuttal for me. How he went off of, because like for the Arkham series, there's a lot of tech upgrades, and you can do that with Iron Man. Whereas with Wolverine, it's tracking, and you can only upgrade your claws so much. So Malcolm surprised me in that rebuttal round and stole it.
You're high.
Not today, Zerg. Sandy, based on the arguments provided, who gets your point?
See, this one's tough because, like, on one hand, I really agree with one person. On the other hand, you know, it almost fits the game a little bit more. But I think that the actual argument premise has to be given to the champion tonight, because I think that Cody made a better opening pitch. I think Malcolm really did come back strong with his thing, but I think like with what Brooklyn said earlier, I think that Cody had won it for me on the first argument. And I think that would just be an interesting game. So my vote's going to go with the champ.
All right, Kurds, it all comes down to you. Who goes on to face Sandy in the finals?
This is hard because the Rebels were both pretty good, but I have to give it to Cody just on the fact that Malcolm just he didn't quite find his footing in his opening, whereas Cody was pretty strong throughout. Yeah, so I give it to it's closer than you would have thought. Which, by the way, also Daredevil should have been the choice for this question. Blind Vision is pretty much detective mode.
Yeah, you could have went Daredevil, Captain America, Doctor Strange. I would have loved to see how they did it with the Punisher.
The whole thing that makes the Arkham games good are the villains that they get to battle. Captain America, I don't want to see Captain America just versus Red Skull. Name another.
Wait,
that's the problem with the
Bartrock, Baron Zemo.
Oh, come on. You just pick Zemo, you lose.
Yeah, I picked Bartrock as well, the guy that literally jumps off of his shield.
I'm just saying, like you're thinking iconic characters. You have to have somebody to counteract that. Like, Black,
Dr. Doom.
Yeah. No.
Okay. I mean, the thing with the Marvel heroes is a lot of the villains are all cross platforms. So I mean, you can put any villain to any of them, and it makes sense. I mean, with DC, a lot of the villains for each character, they only fight those ones a lot of the time. So,
but like with Spider-Man, for example, like his villains are stationary.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. They're like that. I'm just saying, if you do Captain, the main person is Joker pretty much in Batman. Who's that person that torments him the entire time? That's a little rough for me. But I agree. I think MCU is a little difficult to make an Arkham game for.
Guys, we aren't. This is a debate. Cody still is in debate mode. It's like, listen, I'm just rebelling.
I'm always going to be in debate mode.
Why he's the four-time champ.
So now we are the former champion against the reigning champion. I think Sandy actually lost the belt to Cody. So this is a rematch that has been building up for weeks. So Cody says
last time too.
Yeah. So Cody, since you are the champion, question 1 or question number 2?
I'm gonna go 1.
I'm kind of sad. Question 2 didn't get asked, but I think I'll ask it. I think I'll ask it to Malcolm and Matt after this. I think it's one that I'm actually kind of curious about. So you picked question number 1, and that is, other than Superman 64, what is the worst superhero video game?
Spawn.
Sorry, Spawn. Sandy.
Yep.
Cody's like every other Spider-Man game. Because they're all
right. Can I get a second? I don't know. Oh, my mic's dying too.
There's a lot to choose from.
I know.
Yeah.
I know there is.
Take it down. And I meant that literally, not like an asshole. Take your time.
I'll do Catwoman from 2004.
Okay. Really surprised that neither of you picked Spider-Man for the Atari. So we have Spawn.
I never played it. I can't say anything.
Wait, there's a Catwoman game from 2004?
I think it's based on the 2004. Yeah. All right, so we have Spawn versus Catwoman. Sandy, you are going first. 20 seconds. Time begins whenever you start talking.
All right, Spawn was made for the Super Nintendo. It came out directly to go with the movie that came out. It's horrible. It takes every worst part of the movie and puts it into the video game. You can't control the cape. You can't control any of his moves. You have to do so much to get so much power points to do stuff with your power. Catwoman at least is a recognizable character. Spawn was not. Horrible game. Crap.
Time. Perfect timing. I will give you a couple of 10-bit bonus points for that one.
Cody, you don't want me to be champion.
Great, go. Fine. Go ahead. Go on.
Just correct me before I start my time. This is Spawn from the Super Nintendo, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay. All right. Spawn may have its flaws because back then the graphics weren't that great, but it was still those battle through games that were fun, and you were able to. It's challenging. It has something. Try to play a game that was based on exactly the movie with Halle Berry. This movie's graphics are terrible, and the writing in it is probably worse than the actual movie itself. You can't fight. The whip doesn't work. You get beat up by henchmen, and they hit you in the head with guns for no apparent reason.
Time. All right. We now go into the rebuttal phase. Sandy, time begins whenever you start talking.
You may not have been able to do anything in Catwoman, but you definitely couldn't do anything in Spawn. You had 4 buttons and 1 D-pad. At least you had more choices to do stuff with Catwoman. You didn't have anything to do with anything with Spawn. You just tried to play and push buttons as much as possible to get as many moves in. Catwoman at least had newer technology.
Great. 50-second rebuttal, Cody. Time begins whenever you start talking.
I think your problem with Spawn is because of the game system and the not advances of it. The problem with the game is actually still playable and still usable. They just didn't have the technology. Catwoman, you can't even be a cat. You're like a cat that fell and couldn't land on her feet, and you landed flat on your back. You can't even use the whip. You can't. Halle Berry's lines are rushed through, and henchmen beat you up constantly. You can't do anything in the game.
I'll go first.
Yeah, Matt, go first.
This was definitely one in the rebuttals, but I'm giving it to Sandy based on the fact I thought his opening was very strong. And not to say Cody's wasn't, I just thought I heard more of the terrible things, and then his rebuttal just sort of it hit on Cody's while also like the mashing buttons thing, just like Cody, you didn't quite fight that, like you didn't say like, oh, well, that just from what I heard, I'm giving it to Sandy.
Malcolm, based on the argument provided.
I'm kind of the opposite. I'm going to give my point to Cody because he did bring up the good point of that Spawn was probably good for the system it was made for. Because you've only got certain limitations, and I think, it was close, but I think Sandy could have stolen it away if he'd brought up the point to Cody's that these days that movie-based video games based on any movie doesn't really matter are generally not that great. I mean, I don't think I've seen a good video game based on a movie, so Sandy could have run it if he'd brought up that.
All right, so what I'm getting from both people is that from Sandy the gameplay is awful, like it was set up poorly, whereas with Cody I got like the controls the controls are not refined, but the AI was shit, and the premise was awful. I got to think about what's more frustrating: not being able to control your character, or just having a bad
AI,
having a bad AI and a mess
Face
story.
the facts. I mean, we both.
Can listen, Mr. Champion. This is my listen.
I know.
Shut the
No.
I don't care if I don't win, but to say that the fact that it's the exact same, we fought the exact same argument. So that's my viewpoint. You can't say that I didn't bring up the problem with the gameplay. It wasn't AI. It was a problem with both games. That's my biggest problem. You can give it to Sandy. I'm cool with that. But don't say like we brought up the exact same points with both video games.
But you brought up.
Just say.
You brought up different sides of it where like you did. You never once mentioned in your argument that the controls of Catwoman were shit.
I couldn't use the whip.
He did say that. He said he couldn't use the whip.
He couldn't use the cape. It's the exact. I'm sorry if Sandy beat me, that's fine. But we use the exact same.
Catwoman doesn't wear a cape. Well, she does in the comics in some iterations, but not in that piece of shit movie. That's for certain. Fuck that
I'm sorry,
movie,
I
by
shouldn't
the
have said
way.
anything. You make your time. You decide. It's fine.
Yeah, okay, I'll take this time while Brooklyn's figuring this out. Just by the way, guys, PSA here. Fuck Catwoman, the movie from 2004. Just fuck it. The more you know. Fuck that movie.
Okay.
My aunt bought me the game.
Okay, I have my decision. I don't think they deserve it based on what they said after the thing. But let me finish what I'm going to say before you give me that mass smirk. You can get around a game with shitty controls. You can get around a game. You get around a game with a good story and shitty controls. You can't get around a game with fine controls but just an awful fucking premise. So Cody gets my point. Congratulations, you are the still defending late note take 3 mini speed anime champion of the World Night Movie Games Arts in America.
Look at how mad he is having to say it, Cody.
No, because the selective hearing.
You shouldn't say anything when I'm making a decision. That's what pissed me off.
But that's my problem.
That should have come into it.
That's my whole viewpoint. No, I'm saying this: the selective hearing of the panel is what comes into question. You can't viewpoint and say that somebody didn't say anything when that's exactly my counterpoint of it. But I'm not saying I'm okay. I will gladly give the title to Sandy. I don't care. But my viewpoint is when somebody says that you didn't say something in the round when you actually did. That's like somebody else's point.
If I could have my show back, please, for 2 seconds.
Go ahead.
I understand that you're the champion. I do still believe that you had the better arguments here. I was basing my decision off of that. Yes, you might have said that your controls are shitty. You were basing it off of how your game comes off of shitty source material and that the premise is fucking shit. Whereas Sandy predominantly based his off of you can't use the great things of Spawn. Whereas he didn't really talk about a lot of his story and whatnot. You had the better arguments. I'm just saying that's what it is. I shouldn't have to defend myself trying to give my point. You're still.
You're not even the problem that I had. I'm saying overall conversation. It was like that. It wasn't saying that the defending of the buttons of the game. I'm sorry. That's not correct because his counterpoint. I agree. Sandy did a fantastic job in his debate and probably should have won the debate. But I'm saying that when somebody says you didn't say something about the character, that's confusing to me because that's literally what I did. That's my problem.
I will just say this. Malcolm's point about what I didn't say, I actually did say in my opening.
Exactly. That's my viewpoint.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't actually hear that.
I have no problem in losing, but you can't say that you didn't hear. You can't use the reason you're giving a point to somebody when they actually use the point. Like that's weird.
Allow me to try to be a peacemaker here for a second and say, as the bridesmaid who is usually spending more time judging them fighting these things, you guys say a lot of stuff. And also the other thing is, usually we're all working this out. Like, we should probably write shit down and not just work it out. Like, what I thought Brooklyn was doing was he knew what you said, Cody, but he was kind of just saying you talked about the AI where Sandy didn't. He was kind of just working it out loud. Listen. Yeah. This is just a thing with these debates. We see it on movie fights all the time where it's I don't actually
have an epic belt. I'm fine if I lose. I'm just saying it's okay. To explain it from Sandy and mine at this point of view, if we lost on a thing where it says that we didn't say something about the character when we did, it's rough for us because we're like, I thought we said that.
No, No, definitely.
I'm gonna have to miss I'm gonna have to miss 2 of these, so my belt's gonna be relinquished at some point anyway. So it's okay at that point. Like I'm just saying,
we'll do the same thing. Whenever Sandy got the belt, couldn't make it the next week. We make an intern champion, and then we contest an intern champion. Whenever they come back, we combine the belts. The same thing that we did. That is how you got the championship. So the question that I wanted to ask. But this got lost in the mix because I wanted to give 4 questions to just for shits and giggles. I will give this one to Matt and Malcolm because I think it's actually kind of interesting, and I think it's actually good for both competitors. I think they played the game. So the question is, what character, regardless of property or company or where they belong, what comic book character should be added to Injustice?
Ooh, that isn't in there already.
Isn't in there already?
Oh, wait.
You can
We asked the question, so it doesn't have to be DC, is what you're saying?
The question is, what character, regardless of DC, Marvel, Dark Horse, Vertigo, anything, what comic book character needs to be added
Wolverine.
to Injustice?
Wolverine.
Damn it. Punisher.
All right, so we have Wolverine and Punisher. While the peanut gallery is smirking, 20 seconds, time begins to name what they're talking about.
The thing about Injustice and the fun thing about playing the game is working up to your special abilities, and there's 3 different levels of that. Of course, the big one for Wolverine is going to be the Berserker attack, but you can have great things, sneak attacks, you can have small slashes. The problem with Punisher is kind of just his guns, and we already have that with Deadshot in the game. We don't need another guy with guns in the game, whereas Wolverine is something different that would change the mechanics of the game when you're playing, which would be fun.
Time. Malcolm, 20 seconds, time begins to name what they're talking about.
Well, the thing with Punisher is, he can come up with, yes, Deadshot has got guns and stuff, but he can bring out a whole bunch of different artillery, and he's also smart. He can come up with different kind of bullet tactics for various characters, and yeah.
Cool. 50-second rebuttal curtains.
At the end of the game, this is a superhero fighting game. Wolverine has more superpowers that would make the game interesting when you're playing it, especially in Injustice, which is kind of based on the games. Again, Deadshot actually has more stuff to add than Punisher ever could, and Punisher would just be another skin for Deadshot, whereas Wolverine is a different character.
Time. 15 seconds, Malcolm.
Yeah, but the thing about Wolverine is everyone's he's only got Berserker mode in that. Like Punisher, he can come up with various different guns and weapons. I mean, well, yes, he's similar to Deadshot. He's also really different in ways as well.
Time. I'm gonna get my vote out of the way. Kearns, you wanted for me in the opening. Malcolm, you got stuck on it on me compared to Deathstroke. You could have. I think there's a lot of other things that he could have tackled, but my point was to Kearns. Cody.
Gosh, if I could do an opening like Kearns did in that round, I would never lose ever. That was the most beautiful first round I have ever heard. Everything. He got 20 seconds of pretty much saying, mine is awesome, mine's the correct choice, your character exists, your choice sucks, please leave, KO. Like, I was just like, done. Good job.
Sandy, yeah, your vote did not count, but how would you have signed it?
So it's funny. As soon as Kearns was done his thing and Brooklyn, his first round, and Brooklyn said, "Okay," and Malcolm, this is what Cody's doing. like it was already over. Like he's like, "Why are you even going over there?" The only reason that this is not even close is because Matt just killed it in the opening. I almost feel like I have to give Malcolm my vote because I think that every time I have to pick him and not pick him to win, he votes against me against Cody and I lose. You know, I'm got to give it because it's based on the argument because I am a fair player. Matt Kearns wins this one, and he won it in the first round. He didn't even have to go to a rebuttal.
Okay, so just for shits and giggles, let's say like who is the argument against who is the argument that can go up against Wolverine? Because I know Punisher is pretty well like would be a clone of Deathstroke. I would almost argue that Wolverine could almost be a clone of Catwoman, maybe even Nightwing, but
no,
to bring in to have the fun.
He doesn't hurt. It wouldn't be Berserker mode. Like Berserker mode would be that big, just ripping, and you could also do sneak attacks because Wolverine is also very good at.
I would character. I would have said Spider-Man.
I mean,
I would have said Nightcrawler.
I mean, I don't know if she's in the game, but I'd imagine Wolverine is probably really close to Wonder Woman's villain Cheetah in a way.
Cheetah is in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was going
to pick so much fun.
I was going to pick Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid because I think he's one of the best characters out there, and he doesn't just have guns. He's got a myriad of different things. He can plant bombs. He can become almost invisible.
Honestly, what it came down to, because my favorite part about when you're doing multiplayer in Injustice is building up to the ultimate attack, is just doing a fight and building up to just because the thing I love about Injustice is to go to like a cinematic. Just the cinematic they would do for Wolverine's Berserker mode would be amazing.
All right,
literally, you know what I love? That was probably the best fight I've ever gave in these debates, and it didn't even count.
and Devin, I actually just thought of a good one. Galactus.
Ooh, yeah. There's a lot. There's a
myriad. Taking off the Fantastic Four movie? Because no, thank you. I don't want the fart cloud.
Oh, please.
Well, yeah.
Not everything has to be based on movies.
Movie against Sinestro from the Green Lantern movie. Both shitty clouds fighting each other.
Somebody correct me if I'm
the shitty cloud in Green Lantern.
Oh, correct.
Thank you very much.
But
somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Galactus is already in Marvel vs. Capcom, similar to Wolverine. I think.
Oh.
I'm 95% sure that I'm 100% sure that Wolverine's in it. I'm 95% sure Punisher is in it.
Wolverine is in Marvel vs. Capcom, that's for sure.
I think Galactus is also in Marvel vs. Capcom, either as a boss or maybe a playable character. Before he interrupts me again, Cody, as the champion, how do you feel being the 5-time defending champion?
I feel a little cheap, to be honest. That's not the way I should have handled it. Just saying stuff. But I was kind of on side with the reason why I got a little fired up, because like when Malcolm said about Sandy, I was like, well, that's literally what Sandy said, because that's why I had to do the counterpoint. But it's not a big deal. I know it's a lot to take in. Judging's not easy. That's why I close my eyes when I listen to the debates most of the time, so I can just zone everything out and just hear what they're saying. But yeah, if I'm being truthfully honest with everybody that's come on here, my most feared person is Sandy. I've said it before. He's not good at debates, but then he's really good at debates. Like he can throw stuff with that smooth Canadian tongue. So I'm really afraid of him.
That's what she said.
But yeah, I'm excited. Again, debating is my favorite thing to do on the internet. And Brooklyn just wants. This is literally what's happening. Brooklyn wants to unseat me as champion, and then create a new chat log and kick me out of it, so I'm not allowed back in. And that's what he's doing.
If I wanted to unseat you as champion, you wouldn't have even gotten to be champion. I have given you the point this week. I gave you the point last week. I gave you the point against.
Did you give me the sandwich round?
No, we were competing in that one, but in the Winston match, I gave you the point where everybody thought in a split decision. So be careful what you wish for, sir. You just might get it. Sandy, you were unable before Cody interrupts me again. Sandy, you were close to getting the title. How do you feel about your performance today?
Well, I feel that Malcolm's got it in for me. I'm just throwing that out there. Hot take. Every time Malcolm comes to me, it's and Sandy did a great job, but fuck him. And throws me off the bus there. But no. I'm just bugging Malcolm. I love Malcolm. Cody's right. Debating isn't my thing. I've never competed in any of the debate leagues ever. Because I'm of the opinion that you like what you like, and it's not don't try to tell me it's like me trying to tell Cody that the Fantastic Four reboot was awesome, and
I gotta go.
Yes. But, I would never do that because I know he hates it. So I'm not going to try to convince him that he should like it. But these are fun. These are fun. I get what Matt was saying. If we knew ahead of time, we'd be able to prepare a little bit more. But I kind of like it. I kind of like it that you just throw this stuff together and we only got 20 seconds to flumble on here, and the people who are watching are telling us what to do. So, I mean, am I sad that I lost again because of Malcolm? Yeah, I'm sad, but I'll be around, and you know what? I've always got it sitting here waiting. It's just ready to go back on my shoulder, just waiting for that opportunity that Cody gets sick and doesn't come to work one day.
It's okay, Sandy. When we kick their ass in the Schmodown Trivia History team match, it'll all be over.
Exactly.
That's even if they get past Blade Canada. Now, I think this is a good time to wrap things up. I want to go to our producer, the man behind the scenes. Malcolm, where can people get to the world find you?
You can find me on Take 3 every Sunday night where I host Rankin, where you'll be seeing all these lovely faces, plus a short hobbit as well, joining them as we debate the best Marvel superheroes in honor of the new season of Avengers Assemble that started last week. You can also find me and Cody taking on Brooklyn and Harley in the Schmodown Trivia Schmodown, which is delayed till tomorrow. And you can also find me on Twitter, Letterboxd, and Stardust at Melkor.
Look at me, Cody. I can put my arms up in the air too.
I can talk about music. I'm really cool. I'm Brooklyn. Shut up, sock bucket.
Kearns, where can people get to the world find you?
First thing I want to say is, cool guy, thank you for being very awesome in the chat and keeping up talking with us. He says Cody versus Sandy is the Patriots versus top 10 of Late Night with Take 3.
Oh, wow.
So take that as you will. As always, you guys can find me at Kearns_Matthew on Twitter, MattMoves6 on YouTube, and right here as co-host of Rhyme and Reason, the newest podcast on Take 3. New episode goes up this Saturday. We're talking about our top 5 sports movies. You can also find me as the intermediate host of the Reactor Summit, which will drop on Monday. As always, it's great being on the show when I get to be here and debating great fights when they don't count.
You are the equivalent of the Cleveland Browns. The fellow Canadian Sandy Robinson. Where can the cool kids of the world find you?
Now.
You guys can always find me here every Saturday with my co-host Matt Kearns and our show Rhyme and Reason. Every Saturday, like Matt said, we talk about our favorite sports movies this Saturday, and our next episode is going to be our favorite animated movies, so be on the lookout for that. You can find me at Full Metal Media, at Worldwide Movie Games, and on Facebook and Twitter at srobinson1799. Thanks so much for having me today. It was a great time. I had a lot of fun.
And last but definitely not least, I am the Black Lantern Brooklyn. Oh, wait, crap. I almost forgot him again. Cody, as our defending Late Night with Take 3 mini speed round debate champion of the Worldwide Movie Games Association of America. We're going to go get the world find you.
Listen here, you little shit. I've had enough of you. I'm done with you. You're the reason you give Canadians a bad name. You are disrespectful. You're mean. You are hurtful. I don't like your hair, and your face annoys me, and it's very punch-worthy. But on another note, you can find me on Facebook at Cody Newberry. You can find me on Watch-Alongs with Take 3 on Wednesdays. Next week, we're doing Super... So it's going to be an exciting day. You can find me here for maybe a little bit longer until I get blocked from freaking Brooklyn Vale for this show. You can also find me, and like Malcolm said, taking them on and dominating. Let's be real, they're terrible. But you can also find me and one of my best friends, Robert Parker, have to fight Canada and New Zealand and New York This week on Rank 'em, when we talk Marvel superheroes, it's going to be a bloodbath, and I expect to have Brooklyn's head at the end of it.
Let's not forget where most Marvel characters are from. Just saying.
Canada.
The greatest ones in Canada. Last but definitely not least, I have the Black Lantern Brooklyn Valley. You can find me right here at Take 3 Productions, running not one but two shows. On Mondays, I do Jukebox Trivia, where we do various trivia, debates, and countdowns. Be sure to check us out next week, where it is going to be the championship of Jukebox Trivia, where we have Luca Hopel and Mata taking on Matthew Rosa, and what is sure to be a absolute gong show of a match, very high scoring. You can find me right here on Thursdays, late night with Take 3. Be sure to check us out next week. We're at Malcolm. What are we doing next week?
Talking about wrestling because 2K19 is coming out.
Yes, so we're going to be it's going to be wrestling themed in some way. I got to figure out how we're going to get Cody to lose. So be sure to check us out next week for a wrestling themed late Take 3. And you can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at TheRealBK10. And you could probably find me later on tonight streaming on www.twitch.tv/Take 3 videos. I'm going to stream some Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 for a little bit of late night after dark. Once again, guys,
The Dark Knight Rises again.
Yes. So once again, that is Cody, that is Kearns, that is Sandy, that is Malcolm. I'm Black Lantern Brooklyn Vale. Cheers, guys, and as always, drive safely.
Drive unsafe.